Hi, this is Sue at Hometown to Homestead Gal Gardener. This is September 2022, and in recent months I have come across a wholesaler for mostly fruit produce. And yesterday I went and picked some up. So we're going to start with what I'm going to do with all of this. I've already taken some of the produce and started splitting it up, sharing it with friends and family. And now this is what I'm going to do with the rest of it. So I got these boxes, these big boxes of mangoes. Two of them, they were $8 a piece. And I'm going to start by pulling out the ones that are still more on the green side and setting them aside. I want to concentrate on the ones that are really orange like this today. They're more ripe. And I'll pull the greener ones out. I've been working all kinds of produce, lots of jams and jellies, canning some. Let's see, this one's still got quite a bit of green on it. And then I'm going to take, first thing we're going to do is skin and slice some of these up, and we're going to put them in on dehydrated trays. That's step one of the mango processing. Mangoes are kind of a strange shaped fruit, and they have a strange shaped pit on the inside. So to start with, I've got a big bucket for the scraps and trash down here at my feet. And I'm just going to take what I thought was a sharp knife. There we go. And take the skin off the whole outside, leaving as much of the flesh as I can leave. And I pulled the green ones out of the batch to try and you can feel if they're pretty soft too. Try and give me a little extra wiggle room for processing time. Make sure I have enough time today to do the projects that I need to do. Yesterday I had some grapes left over, so yesterday I put the last of the grapes that I'd gotten from the last time I went to the wholesaler into there. They make lovely, lovely raisins. Putting them in the dehydrator. I was really pleased with how my raisins came out. They're dried, but they're still plump and juicy, so to speak, as far as a raisin is concerned. I'm just whittling the skin off this, staying as close to the skin as possible, leaving as much of the flesh on as possible. Almost have it. 2 or 3 more passes here. I'm not a huge fresh mango fan. My family is. But you can see there's the end. There's a seed in there. And the seed kind of goes a long ways here. And it's pretty much the same shape as that. And it takes up a big section of the center. There's not a ton of meat on these things. So I'm going to start up here near the seed and carefully run the knife back the other direction. And it'll go through fairly easily until I've got a nice chunk like this. And I'm going to slice that into thinner slices. And you can see where this white part is? That's where the seed is starting to show. And it's more fibrous and more dense along that section. And it's a very slippery fruit, so you got to be very careful. I don't want to drop this on the tray that I've got sitting over here. You can start to see the shape coming along here. I was looking for my sharp paring knife, which would be easier to do this, but I couldn't find it. Someone in my home absconded with the paring knife. Now this wholesaler that I found has just been coming up with great deals all throughout the summer. And I've been very pleased to have found it because it is adding greatly to my pantry. Now this, dropped it, see how slippery it is? This is what I end up with once I get the majority of the meat off of it. There's a hard, pithy seed in there. It's very hard. There's like some points that come out. They're like almost like spines. You can't see them, but when you press on them, you can definitely feel them. Yeah, and there's a little bit of flesh left on that, but not enough to speak of. So into the scrap pile that goes, and I'm going to slice these pieces of mango about like this, and I'm going to lay them out on the dehydrator trays, and then we'll go on from there. Catch you in the next step. Okay, so with 5 of the pieces of fruit, I got 4 trays for my dehydrator. You can see some of these are lighter in color. It's not quite as ripe as some of the others, and I've never cut one open that was quite like that, so this is going to be an experiment as to how it tastes once it's done. Tried to cut them all about 1/4 inch thick. There's some thinner and some slightly thicker places. Started cutting up some more. That one over there was really underripe. When you push on them, they should give a little bit like a peach or an apricot would. Those are the ripe ones for sure. But well, these are going to get chunked up and put in jars with a light syrup. So we'll be back in just a minute. Okay, now here are my 2 dehydrators. This is, I don't know what brand it is. You can see it's got the grapes in it. Some of them are going quicker than others. It's kind of like the old Ronco style dehydrators. There's just like a coil in the bottom that doesn't have a fan on it. It just works completely on heat. And I come in and rotate the trays. This one, I don't remember the brand of it either. It does have an off fan only, low, medium, and high. I will start these on medium, and it'll probably take at least 2 days for these to dry. These are in my laundry room, so I don't have to listen to it so bad. But we're still in monsoon season here in the Southwest, so it'll take at least 2 days to dry, if not more. And anyway, we're going to get this turned on, get them going. I will rotate the trays of grapes, and then I'm going to get back to making mango chunks. Okay, so don't look too closely at my dirty stove. I've got a big pot full of mangoes. I have no idea how many cups that is. I've got hot water going in my kettle. And in this pot, I have some unbleached sugar melting down in the water. For this big old pot, I put 3 cups of sugar, so it'll be a lighter syrup. I have this sugar that I bought at a local market, and it is Zuka brand. Marina natural sugar. That's what that says. And use it just like regular old white sugar. So we're going to get this heated up and get that sugar melted down. Then I will put the sugar syrup over the mangoes, and I will simmer them for 5 minutes, and then put them in the jars, topping them off with hot water if I have to, if I don't have enough. And then I will wipe the rims, put the lids and bands on, and put them in to be hot water bathed for 25 minutes according to my elevation. And let's see, I do have some of the not as ripe pieces in there too. They'll get in there and cook with the rest of the juice, and they'll soften up in the cooking. When you're cutting up the mangoes, if you get a piece that feels like sandpaper, cut it off. That means you've gotten too close to the pit, and it's real woody there. If you get too close, and that has got some really horrible mouthfeel, you won't like it. So go ahead and cut that part off and skip it. But yeah, my husband and daughter are going to have some lovely mangoes over the winter. And I like the taste of mangoes. I will be making mango jam in a couple of days when the rest of the mangoes ripen, because this is going to be the end of my mango processing for the day. But I don't care for the mouth feel of mangoes. That's just me. I know people love them. And processing them at home when I got such a great deal on the cases is a lot less expensive than buying tropical fruit in a jar. And I'm looking forward to seeing what else we come across. I'll bring you back when these are all done. Again, it'll be 25 minutes in the boiling water bath, and then that should be good. I'm putting them in pints. 10 beautiful jars of mango chunks out of the water bath counter. Something good and yummy, full of fiber and vitamin C for my husband. Ooh, did you see that pop? For my husband and my daughter to enjoy this winter when mangoes are not as prevalent. A little jar of dried, what is that? Dried tomato slices. And a jar of strawberry peach spread. And a gourd my husband grew. Anyway, so this weekend, Labor Day weekend, the Mr. Gardener is going to be working on clearing out trees still. He's still working on that project since the microburst storm that we had hit and take down our trees. And I'm going to be finishing canning projects. So until next time, this is Sue at Hometown to Homestead Gal Gardener. Be safe, and God bless.